Hi, I'm Randy at Kentville Toyota, and tonight we're going to talk about the all-new 2024 Toyota Prius. So here we are at the front of the vehicle. This is the 2024 version. This is the all-wheel drive, not the plug-in prime. This vehicle has a 2-liter drivetrain, and starting here at the front, obviously we have the LED headlights. Extremely sleek, very masculine look. I really do like the aggressive stance of this vehicle from the front side. Lots of sonar sensors forward-facing for parking. And this vehicle also has some really neat safety features that do run off of a combination of those sensors in the bumper, as well as the forward-facing camera here, is that if you're on the road and a pedestrian or a bicycle veers or appears to be veering into your lane of travel, this vehicle will actually respond to that faster than you will, and it actually take control of the steering and steer you away from your pedestrian or the bicycle. So as we go from front to back, obviously, nice angular headlight and fog light. Another parking sonar sensor here on the outside of the vehicle. This version of the Prius as the Limited and the all-wheel drive, this comes with a standard 19-inch alloy wheel. Big, bold look. I really like the look. I like the combination of that large wheel. Kind of an interesting twist. Previously, the Prius has always been a bit of an econo box for people, and they went with 15-inch tires because they were cost effective and they were, frugal customers love their Priuses. This is a totally new way of thinking, is that you still get the economy of a Prius, but you get a really nice bold look. You get the black wheel arch here on the yellow. Again, if you like the maximum yellow with the black, that's good. Not all will. You can actually downsize these wheels over time as well. So as we move backward here to the mirror, there is not marker for the signal light on this one, but it does have a puddle lamp right here, so that when you open the door or you unlock the vehicle at night, this will light up the ground outside of the vehicle. Move back towards the door handles. Obviously, this has Toyota technology built in, that as long as the key is with you, the car will lock and unlock with just you touching here. The mirror also still has our traditional Toyota blind spot monitoring sensor is lit up in your mirror when there is something in your blind spot. So come back here. Really interesting look of the car with the black and the yellow. You will notice that this vehicle actually does have, between the moonroof and the second panel of the roof, this essentially is all black. This is glass, this is glass, this is plastic. So really interesting look, is essentially have a glass top vehicle. As we come back here a little further, again, Toyota hybrid, so obviously we have a locked gas door because there's a pressurized system. And visually, really interesting car to look at. Great body line. Pretty happy with this overall. Customers who have had them so far love them. This color, again, very polarizing. Let's leave it at that. So let's go around to the back and see what we can find in the rear hatch. So here we are back at the rear of the 2024 Prius Limited. Again, Toyota is still calling it a Prius. They have changed the emblem on the rear. All of our new hybrids have the new HEV tag on the back. Lots of sensors again here for parking on the rear. This is a limited trim, so the nice feature on this particular vehicle is it has a power hatch. This is a standard feature on the limited trim. Lower trims do not come with the power hatch until you get up in the technology packages. For the 2024, we do have 2 buttons on the rear gate. Traditionally, even the Priuses with the rear gate that was a power gate, they had just a close and lock, just a close feature. The newer vehicles come with a close and lock. So as you deposit whatever it is you're going to put in the back, press that button on the right, bang, you leave, and as you walk away, it closes the rear hatch and everything locks up for you. So that's kind of a nice feature, so you don't have to stand and wait and lock the vehicle after the hatch closes. So privacy cover, standard feature on this vehicle, very easily detached, literally just hook and loop. If you do want to take it out, if you need more space for packages, whatever you're going to put in here. The floor height is fairly high in this vehicle. It's not a big, roomy car, simply because the hybrid batteries are here over the rear axle. Gives you a great center of gravity as an all-wheel drive vehicle, so it's a nice feature. But again, this is not a people hauler. This is, it is fine for 5 people, but in most cases people are going to use this for a family of 4. And with the all-wheel drive, this vehicle still does have 6 inches of ground clearance, which is nice. So there is A little bit of storage space here in the rear of the vehicle. It does come with a tow hook that you can put in the front if you're unfortunate enough to need it. There it is. And because of the configuration of this vehicle, it does not come with a spare tire. There is a repair kit in the vehicle so that if you get a small puncture, you can hook the can up, hopefully reinflate your tire and get to a service station and get it fixed. So here we are inside the 2024 Prius Limited. Let's do a quick tour here of what I see. Obviously, we have two presets here on the driver's door because the driver does have a power seat. 8-way adjustable, lumbar support, really comfortable seat. I've got to say I've had an opportunity to drive a couple of these vehicles and it is a fantastically comfortable vehicle to drive. For taller drivers, you really would need to set the seat way down to keep the headroom. There's the seat is bottomed out, I'm all the way in. So not a ton of headroom in here with this sunroof. So again, if you had a longer torso and you were north of 6'2", 6'3", you'd make sure you'd want to drive one of these before you ordered one because you make sure you fit. So from here, I see on the dash, automatic headlights, heated parking zone for the wipers. I see the heated steering wheel, which is a nice feature. Gas door is down there. Now gas door on this vehicle, again, because it is a Toyota hybrid pressurized system, this particular vehicle has a 40-liter tank. The 40-liter tank combined with the, I believe it is 4.8 liters per 100 kilometers stated fuel economy combined for this car, should give you a range of about 850 kilometers on a full tank. One of our competitors years ago were making a big deal of you get 1,000 kilometers of tank. What they didn't tell you was it was a 60-liter tank. Comparatively, you put this Prius on the road compared to that vehicle, which happened to be diesel at the time, and comparatively we would get about 1,400 kilometers on the same amount of fuel with this vehicle. So that's a nice feature. The fuel economy is ridiculous. So lots of tech, obviously, your audio controls, radar, cruise control. The layout of this vehicle is very different than previous generations. This is more cockpit-like. I have the display sitting up out of the dash way in front of me, lots of information on it. I really like the brightness of it. It's perfectly placed for my line of sight. The audio, the head unit on this vehicle is very in-depth. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto built in on this vehicle. And because it's a limited trim, it's got a ton of features here. So we have heated and cooled seats. We've got two USB-C audio inputs here and a charging port. We have a conventional old school charging port if you have any old devices you need extra power for. Climate controls, dual climate control, which is really nice. So you can either, your driver can be hot, your passenger can be cold, vice versa. Because it does have heated and cooled seats, we do have the perforated seating surfaces, which is really nice. This is a nice touch, it's kind of that carbon fiber look, very kind of space age. Again, I've been sitting here a couple minutes. I've got to reiterate how comfortable this seat is. It's really impressive. So wireless charging, automatic parking brake, drive modes here. This is a nice change for a lot of people who really found the previous generations of the Prius to be a little more spaceship-like. This is more conventional that we're all used to with a conventional shifter. Again, once you look at the controls, it's very Prius. But for someone who's never driven a Prius before, it's a little more utilitarian than we're used to, and it's a little more comforting for people who've not been previous Prius drivers. I see JBL speakers in the front. The audio system in this vehicle is really impressive. I've got to say that between the XM satellite radio and pairing it with my device, the sound quality here is really a nice touch. Good big sunroof. Manual covers for you to use to cut the glare. I do find driving with my sunroof open with my glasses, I get glare from the back depending where the sun is. So that's a nice, easy, convenient touch. I don't have to go fishing for buttons. I can literally just grab it. So I have the seat pretty well set for myself. So I'm gonna go in the back, see what the layout is like, and see what it feels like to be a rear passenger here. Come on, let's go in back there. Okay, so as I'm about to get in the rear of the vehicle, I noticed something really unique, is that we have your conventional hidden switch here for the door that we see on a lot of our vehicles when they put these hidden door handles in. There's a secondary switch on this one. So this is the electronic switch, and I'm assuming, because of the depth of the throw on here that you have to push it in, there's also a mechanical latch, so that this vehicle is without any electricity. You can literally shove your thumb way down in there and still unlock the door. It's not the most comfortable thing to do, but it will work in case the battery's dead. So I'm gonna carry on, get on the other side of the vehicle and see what it fits like. So here we are in the rear seat of the car. And as I have said on some of these other videos, I have a long torso. Again, I'm only 5'10", but I seem to be disproportionately tall from the waist up. there's not a ton of headroom in here for me. I am sitting, my hair is literally touching the roof, and if I was a little taller or you were going over speed bumps, this would not be the most comfortable place for me to spend some time. So the seat itself is very comfortable. No rear pocket on the driver's side, which is less than ideal for me. There is one on the passenger side. Obviously, we have heated seats for both rear passengers, which is a nice touch. And we have 2 USB-C charging ports here. No fan controls or anything, literally just the heated seats. The armrest is pretty standard for most of the Toyota product. Again, good comfortable seating. I do like the seating surface. This is comfortable for me, but the headroom is a bit concerning because the sweeping roof line of this vehicle obviously gives you a fairly low roof, and this upper trim that does have the sunroof in it, obviously you do lose a little bit of headroom because of the dynamics of how the sunroof has to be fitted in the vehicle. So a baser trim would give you probably another couple of centimeters of headroom, which I would want if I was coming in here for any more than a few minutes or a half-hour drive. It would be not ideal. But again, seating position is comfortable. Door closed. You have quite a high door line here, so it's just below my shoulder height. Again, longer torso, but just an interesting observation that this is a fairly small space. But the opening itself opens up nice and wide. I don't see any issues with that as far as access goes. Yeah, just my biggest observations for me is that this is a really tight roof line. I'd much rather be the driver than the rear passenger. So that's about all I see back here. You do have good pass-through back into the rear hatch, but that's about it. There's no point in me sitting in here blabbling on any longer. Okay, so as per usual, I'll reach down here and see if I can open the hood. So I'll come around to the front, look for the magic hood latch. Hopefully this isn't too embarrassing. Oh no, there it is right there. I just have to figure out which way it goes. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. Nice clean design there. That was fairly easy to find. So, interestingly enough, this is Toyota's 2-liter hybrid drive. This is the powertrain of choice for all the Prius vehicles. Both the plug-in Prius and the all-wheel drive Prius still have the same 4-cylinder, 2-liter hybrid drive connected to the eCVT. This one happens to be all-wheel drive. Again, average consumer, there's where you check your oil. There's where you put your nothing in. That's actually coolant, so don't touch that. There's no need to. That's where your washer fluid would go. And again, beyond that, there is a fuse box. Obviously, there's an air cleaner here. Most people are going to use a certified technician to service this because the average consumer really doesn't understand what's going on there. You don't really need to. Prius is one of those badges that's been around forever. The original Prius was sold in Japan in 1998. Toyota Stat says that most of those vehicles are still on the road with the original batteries in them. In our environment, we've seen a few from the early 2000s. They do stand up mechanically extremely well, but Mother Nature tends to eat them where we are, even with undercoating, is that there's not a lot of those original vehicles still left on the road because most of them rotted, not because they stopped working. So battery pack in the back comes with a 10-year warranty. The engine's got a 5-year, 100,000 kilometer powertrain warranty on it. We really don't have any issues with these. Service them, look after it, undercoat it, and enjoy your Prius. So I'm Randy from Kentville Toyota. Thanks for your time. I hope you enjoyed the video.